People, how are we? Hopefully you're all doing well. Let's talk about the Matchroom versus Queensberry 5 versus 5 tournament. First, I'd like to thank His Excellency. No, he's the guy that's picked this. He's the guy that wants this. He's asked for it, so I think we'll get it, right? We've been told that the fights, the weight classes for the fights will be announced pretty soon, but we're not going to know who's fighting until after the AJ and Ngannou fight, in a press conference down the line, right? And I believe, off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure it's 5 versus 5, Matchroom versus Queensberry. I think Eddie's picking 2 weight classes, Frank's picking 2 weight classes, and then Turkey Al Sheikh is gonna pick a weight class as well. So then you get the 5 weight classes, and realistically, it should be 5 very high level, skilled, competitive fights, because Eddie's not going to want to lose to Frank. Frank's not going to want to lose to Eddie. They're going to put their best, the cream of the crop, their best divisions, the fighters in, if that makes sense. And the team that wins is going to get a bonus. There'll also be probably knockout bonuses, fight of the night bonuses. So you're going to want to get those bonuses. So you're going to want to win. So you're going to want to pick someone who, again, is going to be able to put up a fight, right? And initially we can write off Fury AJ is not going to happen, because I just don't see it being in time. I think I want to say May time, April time even. It's not going to be in time for AJ, or whenever it is. I highly doubt it'll be in time for AJ versus Fury to happen, especially with the rematch and everything like that. That'll be sort of off the table, right? But, if Eddie goes and picks someone like Jay Opetaia, then suddenly Frank's going to want to pick someone, do you know what I mean, who can beat that and put up a fight. So you're going to get evenly matched 50 fights because they're going to want to win. So it's great. It's really good. My question is, before I go and make any predictions as to who the fighter is going to be, can they, I think Eddie said, what's the transfer window? When does it close? Can they go and sign new fighters in advance or ready for this tournament type, this 5 versus 5 thing? If they can, obviously they're going to be on the prowl for new fighters, you know what I mean? So can they go and sign somebody else to fight then? And if so, when's the deadline for that? Because they need to, Frank's needs to know Eddie's picks, Eddie's needs to know Frank's picks, so they can pick kind of off each other in the weight classes and such. And then you get the contract signed, ready for the announcements. So when's the deadline for that, would be my question. Before I make any predictions about, obviously, winners or fighters or whatever, I'll just say my 5 off their current stables. I'd love to see Price versus Collins sort of open the card. The 5, Price versus Collins, evenly matched. I'd love to see then Fabio Wardley, if he comes through Fraser Clark, which I think he will, if he comes through Fraser Clark, fight Dubois. That could be good, a nice little step up. It's a massive step up, actually, and it's also a huge step up in terms of levels. British title to fringe world level is a huge step up, but I wouldn't mind seeing that, right? A heavyweight action. Don't think we're going to get, again, we're not going to get AJ Fury, so won't be headlining it, but a good heavyweight card, bit of action. Wardley versus Dubois. Or I think another heavyweight fight could be Johnny Fisher versus David Adley. That could be great. Potentially both. Maybe they both pick heavyweight, or maybe one of them picks heavyweight and then Turkey picks heavyweight as well. You get 2 heavyweights. Maybe, the 2 Eddie picks heavyweight. I think Eddie's going to pick cruiserweight, right? So I think he's going to want Jay Opetaia to fight. But another one, like I say, it could be David Adley versus Johnny Fisher. That could be really good. Or even Johnny Fisher versus Moses Atuma. That would also be a really good fight. Domestic, obviously, but they're both British. So what's the issue? I think that'd be fantastic. Love to see Wood or Warrington. They might fight again, right? If they don't fight again, or if they do fight the winner, fight Nick Ball. That would be fantastic. And then headlining the card, finishing it all off, I'd love to see Yard versus Callum Smith. I'd take Yard versus Craig Richards. But I'd like to see Anthony Yard versus Callum Smith. I think that'd be a fantastic fight. So I think, for me, rounding it all off, I'd love to see Price versus Collins. I'd love to see Wardley versus Dubois. I'd love to see Fisher versus like Johnny Fisher versus Adelaide, or Johnny Fisher versus Moses Atuma, like in this order. So, you know, 2 heavyweight bouts. And then I'd love to see at featherweight, Josh Warrington versus Nick Ball. You know, obviously, you know, Wood versus Lee Wood, Josh Warrington, whoever wins that, if that again. Ideally Warrington versus Nick Ball. That'd be a fantastic fight. And, you know, finishing off the night, I'd love to see Anthony Yard versus Callum Smith. I think that's the fights that makes most sense. If you can't go Ham Smith, Craig Richards. For me, that'd be it. You let me know your thoughts down below, people. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. You know how YouTube works. Peace.